Eldorado by Edgar Allan Poe. Gaily bedight, a gallant knight, in sunshine and in shadow, had journeyed long, singing a song in search of Eldorado. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and o'er his heart a shadow fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like Eldorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim shadow. "Shadow," said he, "where can it be, this land of Eldorado?"
"Over the mountains of the moon, down the valley of the shadow. Ride, boldly ride,"
the shade replied,
"if you seek for Eldorado."
Eldorado analysis. Eldorado is a mythical city of gold, long forgotten somewhere in South America. The opening lines, gaily bedight, does not refer to the protagonist's sexual orientation, but rather means cheerful, looking forward to adventure, and bedight means decorated. I was originally going to draw this gallant knight as Arthurian from the Knights of the Round Table, instead of the obvious shiny conquistador who would actually be searching for Eldorado in a historical context. But instead, I chose an Aussie digger with the slouch hat, because I think a young, knockabout Australian is the best form for optimism, looking forward to adventure. The poem tells that he sang a song on the way to Eldorado. I was going to use the Eagles as inspiration and sing, "Eldorado, why don't you come?" But I'm so glad I didn't. The second verse shows the knight in old age, an anciently decaying man. And I think John Lennon said it best with, "Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans," in a much more harmonious tone than I just did. My apologies. Eldorado was the knight's plan, but by chasing the city of gold, he inadvertently sacrificed his life for his pursuit. I think we're all in danger of that. I portrayed the pilgrim shadow as his actual shadow, but more menacing and Peter Pan-like, because it doesn't move with logic. There's a debate whether the knight is dead at this point. I like to think he's on the verge of death. I like to think a lot of people are on the verge of death, finally giving up the location of Eldorado, only to be told it's on the moon, unreachable in the days before rocket boots. I used the literal moon, but because Edgar Allan Poe wrote this, he probably meant Eldorado exists only in death. But I like the shadow's last line, "if you seek for Eldorado," making it a choice. If one wants to waste their life searching for riches instead of living life to the fullest, go ahead. I hope you're living your life to the fullest right now. This was written in 1849, the poem, not this terrible analysis. As you can tell, this was not written at all. Edgar died in 1849, making Eldorado one of his last poems. He had started off life as the gaily gallant knight, and may have feared he was ending up like the knight in old age, an anciently decaying man, on the way to Eldorado.